Boleh
Okay,
nampak?
boleh?
So I do this.
Yep.
Am I clear?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, alright. We start in 1, 2, 3.
Hey, I'm about to go level up. I cannot settle for nothing. I never been regular. Always knew I could do better. I finally made it this far and I'm not looking back. They didn't see all the time that I put in. Now me and the money are way too attached.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Quick Sip. I'm your host Harry here. You might be wondering why I'm solo today. So it's just me with a solo interview with none other than, how do I address you?
Noretta Jacob.
Full name lah.
Noretta.
Jacob.
Noretta will do.
This series, right, it's been a long time dream of mine to start something which is closer to my heart, which is photography. So when I was thinking about someone who can actually bring in as the first guest, is none other than Noretta, because she is also, how long have you been doing this? Quite long, right?
Yeah, I would say 20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
Wow, what year was that? Yeah, longer than me.
20. Wow, you testing my
If you're saying
2015 lah.
If you're saying 20 years, right?
Not 20 years. Correct. 20. No, sorry, 2005. Yes.
Oh.
2005.
What was your first touches on photography? What was it?
Kids.
Oh.
Because I was a preschool teacher back then.
Okay.
So that's when I started, because we had to take photos of kids in action, doing their work, jumping, outdoors. So as I take lots of photos, and I got feedback from parents saying that, hey Noretta, your photos are so nice. And then when other teachers were taking, and they say, hey, can you teach the other teachers how to do it? So I think that kind of started the whole.
So back then, right, were you like really into like, okay, I'm gonna be a photographer?
No.
Or is it like try and error? Or is it like by chance?
Yes, it was incidental. It was an incidental talent, I would say.
What camera were you using?
A simple Canon. Actually, I was just using a normal camera. Those digital cameras.
Was it belong to you or somebody else? You borrowed?
Okay,
or?
so first was the schools, and then my very first camera was a Canon. Was a simple one as well.
This one not sponsored. Canon. If you want, you can contact me.
It was a semi-pro. It was a semi-pro camera.
Okay.
What made me buy one was
really?
that.
After that, a few years later, you buy, or on that year itself you buy?
No. I only bought my very first camera after 3 years of being a teacher. And the reason why I bought it was because of something that happened in school that really got me so stressed up. And then I cried at the end of the day. And I told myself, I want to go and buy for myself something. So I went to Mustafa Center. I will never forget. Mustafa Center. I know, right? Mustafa Center, sad, feeling so emo. Then I said, hey, I want to buy a camera for myself. And that's where everything started. So when I started having that one semi-pro camera, I also worked very closely with a friend who's a makeup artist. And she's now my best friend. And we actually did some model shots, just for the fun of it.
Just do outdoor.
Yeah, just for the fun of it. It's really very fun. Avant-garde kind of theme. We dress her up, we made her up, and then after that we took photos outside. So that's where it started lah. And then some of them, they wanted to take some makeover. So back then, makeover $50, $120, then you just take a photo shoot.
Yeah,
so that's what it started.
That is also how I started. It's like, padahal kita orang hobbies tau. It's like suka-suka, tak ada lah.
It is.
You wanna be photographer, like you didn't have any intention of being a full-time. Because, I was brought up in years of my family. They usually like, photography, sure not. You still have your full-time. Might as well you do full-time job. So for me, right, full-time is still full-time. But weekend je, I will just switch on, become photographer, do part-time.
So it's a weekend thing for you. Okay.
So was it your calling to actually start up a business because of that?
So after that, eventually, I decided to just create my own name called NJ Photography.
I saw that
on
on Instagram.
And I had my cousin who actually did a very nice. He did it very nicely. He designed the logo for me, and I loved it.
Is it still the same logo now?
Yes, until today.
Okay.
Until today. So and that's where photography for kids photography started. So I did events, like birthday events, birthday celebrations, and then slowly it went to weddings, and then slowly it got to other things as well. So that was the fun bit whereby you start to explore, and you start to stretch yourself a little bit, and then
start to push and
start to push your ability.
Takut, but you want to try.
Just do it. Yeah. And Alhamdulillah, I think that really went well, slowly but surely. And I also did go and take my certificate for photography as well
cool.
at the Singapore Photography Association. I think the one in where is it?
Is it the one now in Arab Street there? No.
The one is at the P Center, just across P Center. It's actually a photography Singapore Photography Academy or something like that. So I did that, and I really enjoyed it. It was long time ago. I mean, when I started.
I mean, how long was the course?
About 8 months or so around there.
Lama tu.
Yeah. But it was a once a week. It was kind of like a level 1, level 2. Level 2, that's where you they will teach you about studio stuff, which
that's another story lah.
That's another story.
We will get there lah.
Yeah, so that's where it all started lah. That's where I told myself, okay lah, if I want to do this as a sideline, why not study it, learn more, and monetize the skills that I have. Yeah.
So okay, you said that you did kids first. So for me, right, when I first started, my first pool of clients, right, is always friends. Friends of friends.
Yeah.
So how about you? Was it like you promote yourself, you did some marketing, or was it like being promoted by your friends?
Yes, I think it was just word of mouth. I need to word of mouth where there's a photographer who can do it, and at that point of time, I wasn't wearing my hijab at all. So I was just a normal photographer, female photographer. So now also I flipped to them. So after that, and then, but when I started to wear my hijab, it's interesting because those who want to have a lady photographer, they will focus on that. Like, I prefer a lady photographer. Can you do it? And then some male photographers actually call upon me to say, I have a job, I have assignment, but I cannot do it. Can you do it? I said, sure. So that's where I get to know more photographers out there who are very, very, I would say, very skillful. So learn a lot from them as well. That's where I have to open up my wings a little bit. Just know more people. And that's where I said, hey, I can take photography.
So, okay, you see, when I did expo or whatever, right, those couples who come up to us, right, one of their first questions, right, do you have a female photographer?
Oh.
So, for me, right, I was like, alamak, mana aku nak cari? It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy to find one. I do not know why, but I feel that they are not, what do you call it? Macam...
We are like Pokemons, very difficult to find. You need to find and search really.
But once you find one, they are always not free.
Oh, is it?
They are always like, I have a job here. I have a job. Because they are the macam sotong, kena tarik sana, tarik sini. So it's very high in demand. And the thing about the clients, right? I also back then I don't quite understand, because back then our training is like, okay, you go to client house. You shoot their time dorang makeup, time logging dan gitu. So for me it's like, apa yang susahnya? Why do you need a female photographer?
Is for wedding,
it's just
right?
It's just the same thing. Makeup, then that's it. I guess when I asked them deeper, they said that, I just want from A to Z my makeup with and without without hijab and with hijab to be taken.
Yes.
Now I was thinking,
that's right.
How about the photo? Who is going to edit? Who is going to pass to you? If let's say I'm going to edit, I'm still going to see your photo.
Right,
then
understand.
She make it specifically that he said that I want the female photographer to touch the editing and send it directly to me. Then I was like, okay, so I have to respect that view lah.
Definitely.
So because of this, it's like a deal breaker. So I couldn't get clients to sign up because of that main reason.
I see. Okay. Then did you actually find for female photographers?
It's very hard because few months ago I have one wedding inquiry, and then what they wanted was a female photographer for the girl side. Then I asked like 4 of my friends, very hard bro to find. How to find? Even if we find, okay wait, aku ada satu, I can check with you, I get back to you. By the time they check, alamak bro, tak ada lah, dia tak free this day. So it's very hard. So back then if I know you, it'd be very easy.
I think I had a few male photographer friends who actually say, Noretta, can you do it? And I did. And there was once, maybe I can share one Arab wedding. I will never forget that.
Arab wedding?
Yeah, and it was a 3-day.
Oh,
that means it was berinai, then it was the nikah, and then it was the Sunday. So it was 3 days back to back.
Parah tu.
Exactly.
Wait, how old was that? Were you still strong and young, or?
I was.
Okay,
back
so no
then.
problem.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago. Definitely more than 10 years ago.
Yep.
And then what happened was, it was interesting. It was my very first, I would say, major wedding, and I was the only photographer because that's what they want. And
Baku-baku lah,
very,
like.
yeah, I was very nervous because I
Oh.
wasn't sure whether I can do a good job. I could do a good job, but Alhamdulillah, I think it was nice to see that they were comfortable with me. I
You
wasn't
alone
wearing. Yeah, I was alone.
Oh, yo.
I was alone. Yeah, they did not have any other photographers.
Okay.
I wasn't sure about the guy side though, but I remember clearly it was because it was a staunch Muslim's wedding. It was a very strict Muslim's wedding. So the ladies all wear tudung, and everything.
I see.
Like that. So
Ada
the
like.
inai. It wasn't though. It wasn't. But the guy. Okay, so it was an arranged marriage.
Oh.
Yeah. So the guy was an Arab Indonesian. I think I remembered. So they only met
But
like
in
once or
Singapore?
twice. No, he was from Indonesia lah.
But the
lady was Singaporean.
Oh.
So she had that berenai. It was fun. It was literally the typical Arab berenai kind. Very cool, And then the next day, okay, so this is what happened when because they only met like once, I think, once or twice.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was an arranged marriage. So
Jangan salah orang sudah.
during the photo taking, it was very awkward.
So
You get what
diorang tak biasa lah nak post.
cannot. So the best part is the girl was very comfortable with me already. So she kept saying, Noretta, can you tell him to so each time she always tell me, Noretta, can you tell him to you tell him or you tell him. So it became my problem. It was like my responsibility to
Responsibility.
tell him like what to do, I said, korang dah kahwin. Can
that's
you
why.
talk to him? So that was interesting. That was
dah
very
halal.
funny. Yeah, but because they were so uncomfortable and like, okay, and then I have to tell them like, can you hold hands like this? And they were so very
Cute.
uncomfortable. But it was cute lah. It was really cute. And the guy just couldn't look at the camera. So that also became a
Both of them
problem
quite young.
because very young.
Ah.
So it became a problem because the guy became shy. The guy was very uncomfortable because I was a photographer.
Correct.
But the girl was like, hey, you tell her. I was like, okay, I try. So I became like the center person, like, boleh dekat lagi tak? Lagi sikit. So
If I were
like I
the-
said, can you look at the camera? So I think 90% of the time he wasn't looking at the camera. I do not know why.
I think he's
But
shy lah.
I think so. Then he was just looking like that. Or he was just like looking down. And then, okay, 1, 2, 3, then he looks somewhere else. I should have just snapped at
Perangai
number 2.
pakcik-pakcik kan. So ambil gambar tu tengok datang.
Correct. So I should have just snapped at number 2. 1, 2.
Yeah.
So I said 1, 2, 3, nanti dia tengok lain. But okay lah, at the end of the day, they were happy. They were very happy. It was a huge major wedding. So I was tired. That was the first
3
time.
days, eh?
I was
No kidding,
really tired. That was the unforgettable one. But I really do like to take weddings.
The experience is for.
Yeah, I think the part whereby the guy has to read the what is it? The taklik, is it?
Taklik
What's it called?
ah.
It always make me want to tear
Of course.
forever. Like
Of
I'm a
course.
photographer, like okay, I
You
feel
know,
like,
for me, right? Whenever the ustad will talk about the short khutbah, whatever the wedding, then I'll be like, alamak.
Kan?
Then after that, right, I would text Fiza like,
right. Oh no. Yeah. I was like really no. I always tear. I for some reason or the guy or the parents salam. I was like okay.
It will brings you back
And then
to
I
your
have to
time
wipe
also.
the camera. So these are the parts and there's one last one that I will never forget for wedding is when there's an old atuk. The atuk went for the wedding. I think because he has dementia or Alzheimer's, I cannot remember. And he was very happy. He was the happiest. He was so cute. He was like, happy, you sit down, ambil gambar kan. Then after he turned around to the
He very into lah.
He was very excited. Then he was like, okay, duduk. Okay, senyum. Atuk senyum. Everybody's trying to tell him to senyum. Then he turned around. Siapa kahwin? Siapa kahwin ni?
Pada cucu dia.
It was so cute. It was so adorable. But he was the sweetest. Dia kata, and then he was like, okay, bagus nanti didoakan. I thought that was really, it made an impact lah.
Yeah.
It really felt like you can see, the warmness of the family.
Correct.
I absorb the energy. I love it. And at the end of the day, no matter how tired I am, I really felt that it kind of feeds my soul.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why.
That's the word
I'm
lah.
passionate about it because it's not just nak ambil gambar gitu, but really I like to capture. I love to capture things in action. I love to take candid shots. I think that's my forte. Candid
So it's
shots.
not like you take wedding because you want the money or don't want the money, you want this.
Well,
but for
this
you,
a
right, is
secondary issue lah.
for you just want to feel it. You want
Yes.
to absorb the emotion.
And also because the photos, I mean the feedback that is given to me, like, hey Noretta, you really know when to take. Wow, this is very nice. Like I could see. So I feel that maybe I cannot share the emotions through writing.
Correct.
But it's through photos.
But through photos, correct.
And that's something that they
That's
will,
a gift.
Yeah. And with the kids, I think a lot of male photographers, I don't know, you tell me, for guy photographers, they don't like to take kids. They feel like
Patient.
they are all over the place. I
Yeah.
cannot deal. And sometimes kids are scared. So of the
Okay,
guys.
hold that thought. That time, few weeks ago, we did a job together.
Yeah.
We did event, the
Yeah.
KMZ event, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was so chaotic, right? She'll be there talking to the kids. I was like, how do you find the patience to talk to the kids? Okay, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand.
And I don't need to ask them to pose. I don't like poses. I'm
Just
not,
be themselves lah.
Yes, can you just be yourself? Even for taking photos of like maternity, and that's also another thing that I do because as a female photographer, maternity shots, newborns.
Maternity, I cannot. I cannot.
Why?
Maybe because I don't have the patience to macam mana maybe it's like cold feet when we talk
Right.
about maternity, right, it's like very delicate, very sensitive.
Yeah. Newborns? How about
Newborn
newborns?
lagi tak boleh.
So I'm into newborns.
Ah.
I'm into to maternity, children, 1 year old, and then the newborns. I will buy the crochet costumes and all these things too. And then at the end of the day, I will actually bring all these materials to the house. Because the mother is only 1 week, 2 weeks, after birth,
mana
right?
lah.
So they cannot
Yeah,
go
they're
out.
not strong enough
And that's
to-
the reason why I'm not into studio shots. So I will bring all the materials to the house, and like for example,
Props
like this,
ah.
I will set it up, and then I'll take photos of them. So that's pretty much it. It's very comfortable. Very how should I say? The mother feel at ease where
Yes,
she
everything
is.
is taken care of lah.
Correct.
Okay, can we go back to the beginning again? What interests you in photography?
I think
Do you chance upon my uncle do photography, nice or is it
I think it's really
what's your
like I
story?
said. I think taking photos of kids in school and looking back at it and how their expression and they are just so natural. In
So
front
your
of
love
camera.
comes naturally lah.
Yeah.
It's not like you see magazine, I want to be like that. I
No,
want to be
no, it
okay.
wasn't. It was really because I took photos of kids, and then parents started to say, "Hey, it's really nice," and they appreciated it, and that kind of validated my feelings
to
towards.
push forward
Yeah,
some more.
correct. Yeah.
So for weddings, okay, you told me that you did weddings like 3 days alone. Was there any prior training about?
No.
You didn't even follow somebody to
No.
like what do you call it? Shadow
No.
Tak ada.
No.
Ish.
Yeah, I really had to. It's a lot of self-study and looking at all the photos for ideas, and I think for me, I'm sure you also do the same. Wherever we go, right, we see things in the frame.
Yeah.
Right, we will see for certain angle.
Yeah.
This one cantik, and then you take. So my camera has like 20K photos that I have not deleted. So yeah, I think that's something that but after a while you kind of train your eyes to look at things in frames.
Actually, you'll be surprised that even when you watch TV, right, like Netflix or what, right, you see the frame like, very nicely
Can.
framed.
Yeah.
The portion very good.
Yes.
Until, right, my wife Fiza be very annoyed. Can you stop it? You're spoiling the whole show.
The cinematography of it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I also look at it and say, wow, it's really nice. Cara dia, the way. So that becomes our job hazard. Like, macam, okay, I see it that way. And I see some kids at a certain angle, I want to take photo of that. So, yeah, I love taking shots of that. And because it does remind me of beautiful times. So, at the end of the day, like I said, I like taking photos because it brings that joy into yourself. And that's what life is, right?
Correct.
It's
So,
little things.
okay, another question. Are you the designated photographer in every family event?
Not only that, I'm also like the selfie stick because
Okay.
my hand's very long, so I'm always forever the selfie stick.
Number 2?
And then in schools also.
In school also?
I mean, in schools, when I was teaching and I was a principal back then, not only taking photos of events, taking
Also
photos
designated
of
photographer.
yearly shots as well. The
Wow.
kids photo shoots. So we
Okay.
do it ourselves. It's
Sama.
all in-house. Apa lagi?
Travel, if you go travelling?
Of course, that one I'll take on my own. That one I definitely have to take. I'll take on my own. I'll bring. But now because all the cameras are so good with Leica,
Yeah. The
Leica lenses and all,
ah.
I just use my camera.
Okay.
I don't have to worry. I don't
Is
have to
it
worry.
a blessing or a curse?
I would say a blessing
Uh-huh,
because now I cannot carry so many things. Being a mother of two, I need to carry. So I think it's good that I actually just bring my camera and just shoot.
It's good that you feel that way. It's a blessing to be
It
like.
is, and I feel that I want to say anybody can be a photographer, so cannot.
Cannot.
Let me rephrase that.
Marah dia orang.
No, I want to encourage people, but
Correct.
but sometimes I like when people. I would say I like. It's interesting when people say, "Wah, bagus, mestilah
Compliment.
she's good at taking photos because her camera is good." It's never the person.
No,
it's always the
that's why,
camera.
yeah. Why?
And then sometimes when I see people during Hari Raya, nanti dorang ada this professional camera, very expensive, and then they take an auto.
Tak sakit hati ke?
I was like,
Myself, you give me the camera, I give you my phone.
can you like turn? I was twitching already, but I said, no lah, like so sayang, you have
Yeah.
such an expensive camera. Use your other settings. Don't use auto.
Okay.
I'm not trying to judge, but you know the feeling.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You
Like
have
geram.
such a good, such a
Yeah.
good camera. Use it fully.
Okay, are you the kind of person that when you walk around and you notice somebody with camera, you be like, camera apa tu?
I will take a look at the camera.
Lens apa
outside.
tu?
I would admire it. I won't like say anything, but I would admire. Say, what camera apa dia ada? Sony lagi ting. My eyes were like, oh, Nikon, okay,
Yeah.
Canon. So
Fiza will be like, how? Your cat. Fiza will be like, how you know that camera is Sony? How you know that camera is Canon?
Yeah.
I know lah.
But I have to say, as a photographer, I'm actually a very simple one. Editing is the least of my how should I say,
Straight out camera lah,
favourite
yours, your style.
I will make sure that I try to take the best shot I can so that I can minimize my editing. Just so
True.
you know. So that's I feel like, because a lot of people I also have seen before whereby photographers take shots, but then their editing is really top notch.
Parah.
Top notch.
Ada pun parah juga.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're just taking shots like that, tau. Just take, and then they go back, and then they will do a lot of bokeh lah.
Yeah. Photoshop.
I don't know. What do you think about that? And then, but for me, it's like I really make sure the timing is right, the lighting is right. Take. Then after that, then okay. Of course, I take a few shots lah.
Correct.
But you see the difference? Like
Yeah.
you can just snap, but then the editing comes later, and that's where the master of editor will be able to do it proper. So I don't know.
That means you do your own editing.
Yes,
Because
I
some
don't-
photographers that I ask them, right, they will do the shoot, everything, but at the end of the day, they will transfer all the files to a master editor for them to edit. Which I find it that macam that is already like
Yeah, it's not your job. It's not
like, it's not your art already.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I know. I do everything. I do everything.
Yeah, good.
from taking shots to editing, and then I give it to the client lah. Yeah.
Like for me also same thing. It might trigger some people. Last time I used to shoot in RAW. People like oh RAW good, so that you got more colors, you can play around with
Yeah,
this and
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Then it comes to the point that when I reach using Fujifilm, I use Fujifilm camera.
It's okay, what? Very
Their
nice.
color, right? It's like you don't need to edit much. The color very nice. already.
Yes,
Then I became lazy. I feel that it's okay. This is getting easy. We go down to JPEG, but high res.
Right.
So when I do that, not bad So I don't do much heavy
Yeah.
editing. No more raw.
Correct.
So it's all JPEG. Nowadays you see the camera outside. It's no longer to the point that this photo must be raw. Your quality of glass. No, it's all on the eye.
Yeah.
Ah.
For me, my priority when taking photo is the framing, the expression, the
Moment lah.
object, right? And then after the moment itself, and then that's where editing comes in. So for me, if you don't have that moment, also you edit so much, also it doesn't create an impact. So and then I think that's something that I feel strongly for myself. The moments are always the most important bit.
Okay, so now I'm going to touch on something that being a hijabi photographer, Muslimah photographer, have you ever feel like people judge you because you are wearing hijab. Bagus ke tak bagus ni? Sure no? Is she really? Can she do this? Can she do that? Ada batasan ke? You feel like no, I don't take you because you. Have you ever felt that way?
I think for me, I'm very mindful. I'm very mindful, especially during weddings. And I'm as a female photographer. Time akad nikah, I cannot be too obvious down there, right? So I will try my very best to angle myself. That's number one. Number two is actually what you said. In fact, it is a benefit for me. In fact, because like I said, I take a lot of maternity shots.
Correct.
Newborn shots, right? So in fact, they want a hijabi photographer. So far, I have not received that kind of comments lah. But for me, I will be very mindful, especially in a
big space.
In a big space
People
where there's a lot of
watching
people.
you.
Yes, and I'm going to be there taking photos. I have to be very mindful and careful. So
some more being a photographer, you have to be lasak. You have to sana tonggeng sini, lompat sana, lompat sini.
So I try to minimize that lah, of course. I try to minimize that open wide angle, and that. So, but my voice have to be loud enough for them to know, and I have to be bold. I have to teacher voice, you know, the teacher's voice. I have to be bold, and I have to really, you know, have thick skin. In order for me to make sure things. If I'm not, how am I supposed to tell them what to do? So I literally have to like, okay, everybody, let's say selamat pengantin. So I have to do that. So yeah, but honestly, at the end of the day, I'm very tired. I'm very tired. So energy level just. But at that point of time, you know that you feel very high. That in the moment you are, you know, you have a lot of adrenaline. You just do it. But I will still be very mindful with things. And in terms of touch or whatever it is, have to be very careful. I won't. I will try to just tell them what to do instead of touching them. Correct.
So, to all the newly wanting to start being a photographer who are female, what are the top 5 key things that they need to have in their skill set to progress as a good photographer?
Okay, of course, number one, you need to have the eye. Number one. You really have to have the eye and the passion. If not, then it's very difficult for you to be in the industry lah. Number two, you need to be bold, like I mentioned. I think there is this, as you know, being in our faith, there's a tension between being bold and
modest.
Being modest, but you can still do it without jeopardizing your faith lah. So that is something that you need to take note of. Number 3, I think your voice matters. Number 3, you need to have your voice. Even though no matter how shaky your voice is, you need to be strong enough to bring yourself out there, and actually it builds your confidence as well. Yeah, and number 5, never underestimate your ability. Never think that just because you are a female and then you're hijabi, your work is not going to be loud enough for people to see and people to appreciate. You never know. There are a lot of people who appreciate your work out there. I always thought that it's nothing, but when people say, wow, this is really nice, that's when it made me feel like, okay, I underestimated myself. So there's many times that we do that. Have a good circle of friends who also will support you lah. If not, then they will say, why are you doing this again? You know, like, dah lah, tak payah lah, you know, umur dah berapa.
Correct.
Why you want to do this? You're a lady. So that is not going to help. That is really going to make you doubt yourself.
Negative thinking, overthinking.
So be in a circle that will support
similar-minded people
support you in this. Yeah.
So when you're talking about support, right? During your photography career, right? Was there any part of it that suddenly people doubt you, family, friends were to say, why are you doing this? You should stop doing this. What would okay, like you're not yet, okay, let's say I'm not talking about you, maybe in general you're not yet married. Why are you doing this? How are you going to get a husband? How are you going to get a wife? You know, that kind of thing. Like, you keep doing this, like will the money be good? How are you going to have CPF? That kind of thing. It's always the most common questions lah. So have you ever encountered that during your career?
I think no, so far, because
very good,
okay, number one is because I had a job back then. This is like what you do,
the side income
weekend, the side income. So I think the side income wasn't wasn't an issue. But if you were to ask me, I know of a lot of photographers who are really doing very well, and they are Malays. They are very distinguished photographers. and they are earning a lot.
Yeah, I understand.
People think that these people are earning a lot as well. So, but I think it's how people will appreciate your work. Let your work do the talking lah. That's all I can say. Because if you show your work and your family and friends really see that, wow, this person knows what they're doing, they appreciate your art. They appreciate your creativity. And I think so far, alhamdulillah, I have none whatsoever who will say that. It's just like I said, it's only during weddings where you feel very awkward sometimes during events because like I said, you're the female photographer and then you have to be out there. Especially I'm a very tall person. People can see me very clearly. So I think that really, to me, is like you just need to overcome that and then you'll be okay, inshallah.
Okay, with that, I think we have covered a lot of stories. Maybe we can return on part 2 of this solo interview with me, with Noretta Jacob. Thank you.
You have just listened to the Quick Sip podcast. Subscribe, like, and follow.